private island looks like freedom, until one storm turns paradise into $1 million emergency, with no city services coming. In the Bahamas, owning an island means buying beauty, isolation, and responsibility all at the same time. Private Islands Online notes Bahamian islands often cost over $1 million before development, services, and long-term upkeep begin. Before the first dinner party, owners may need docks, roads, power, water systems, buildings, staff quarters, and marine access. The first hidden cost is access. Every guest, grocery bag, spare part, and worker must arrive by boat or air. On a remote island, convenience disappears. Every ordinary item becomes a planned delivery with fuel, labor, timing, and weather risk. Mason Bahamas lists power and water systems among recurring private island expenses, alongside staff, transport, fuel, supplies, and insurance. If the generator stops, the illusion breaks. Lights, refrigeration, air conditioning, pumps, Wi-Fi, and security can fail quickly. Solar can reduce fuel dependence, but batteries, inverters, salt corrosion, storms, and backups turn clean energy into serious maintenance. Fresh water is not guaranteed. Many remote islands rely on rain catchment, storage tanks, or desalination systems that need constant care. In paradise, rain is not only atmosphere. It can become drinking water, irrigation, backup storage, and long-term resilience. Every structure on a Bahamian private island fights salt air, humidity, sun, termites, wind, and corrosion from the first day. It attacks hardware, boats, pumps, railings, windows, vehicles, appliances, and anything exposed to ocean air. Remote ownership means stocking parts before failure, because waiting for one missing component can shut down an entire system. Recent Bahamas private island guidance estimates caretakers can cost from $100,000 to $250,000 yearly, depending on responsibility. Additional landscaping and maintenance staff are commonly part of the yearly budget, especially when the island must stay guest-ready. Even a small island needs roads, carts, fuel storage, and maintenance routes, because distance exists even inside paradise. The beach does not stay perfect by itself. Seaweed, erosion, debris, tides, and storms keep returning every day. Shoreline protection can become one of the largest long-term expenses, especially where erosion threatens docks, beaches, and villas. The Bahamas has no income or capital gains tax, but real property tax and transaction taxes still matter for owners. Bahamas real estate transactions often involve a 10% VAT on conveyed property price, commonly shared by buyer and seller. A private island is not one property, it is a miniature municipality, with private versions of power, water, roads, waste, and security. Waste is another hidden cost. Trash, recycling, sewage, and hazardous materials must be treated, stored, or transported responsibly. Sewage treatment is not optional. A luxury island must protect beaches, reefs, guests, staff, and the owner's reputation. The Bahamas' beauty is ecological. Protecting reefs, mangroves, and water quality can shape development, maintenance, and permitting decisions. The Bahamas recognizes vulnerability to hurricanes, sea level rise, and coastal erosion, making natural protection more than scenery. Hurricane season changes the island budget. Preparation can mean shutters, fuel reserves, evacuation plans, insurance, and emergency contractor access. Hurricane Dorian caused widespread devastation in the Bahamas, triggering disaster insurance payouts and showing the scale of regional risk. Insurance can be expensive, complicated, and limited, especially when waterfront assets face wind, flood, surge, and rebuilding risk. It can decide whether the month becomes leisure or reconstruction. After a storm, rebuilding is harder offshore. Every board, machine, worker, and permit must reach the island first. Some islands depend on seaplanes or helicopters, adding another layer of aviation cost, scheduling, safety, and weather dependency. A helipad looks effortless from above, but it requires approvals, lighting, maintenance, safety procedures, and trained people on the ground. Boat maintenance becomes non-negotiable. If the tender fails, groceries, staff, guests, and emergency movement can all be interrupted. Fuel costs do not only power boats, they support generators, vehicles, equipment, emergency reserves, and sometimes the entire island rhythm. Food planning is different offshore. One missed delivery can change menus, guest experience, staff meals, and emergency readiness. Fine dining on a private island begins long before the plate, with sourcing, shipping, storage, staffing, and backup plans. Landscaping looks natural, but luxury gardens need irrigation, pruning, pest control, soil work, and constant recovery after storms. Humidity and heat attract pests. Protecting wood, food, guests, and comfort becomes a year-round professional service. Air conditioning is not a minor comfort in the Bahamas. It protects people, electronics, interiors, art, fabrics, and sleep. An empty villa still costs money. Dehumidifiers, climate control, cleaning, security, and inspections must continue when owners are away. Privacy is one reason people buy islands. But real privacy requires security systems, staff, cameras, boats, and communication plans. Isolation can protect an owner, but it also means response times are longer if something goes wrong. Medical planning is essential. A private island may need first aid capacity, evacuation routes, radios, and rapid access to Nassau or Florida. Even escape needs bandwidth. Satellite internet, backup communications, and technical support can become mission-critical island services. For high-net-worth owners, the island is rarely total disconnection. It becomes a private office with better views and higher costs. Property management turns paradise into a checklist, because missed maintenance can become expensive failure very quickly. The Bahamas has hundreds of islands and cays, which creates extraordinary privacy and equally extraordinary logistical complexity. Supply runs can be delayed by weather, sea conditions, customs, staffing, boat maintenance, or simply distance across open water. For guests, arrival feels seamless. For the owner, it required staff, transport, fuel, food, cleaning, safety, and contingency planning. Hospitality standards do not disappear because the property is private. If anything, expectations become more personal and exacting. Pools, spas, fountains, and outdoor kitchens all add lifestyle value, but each one adds systems, chemicals, repairs, and energy demand. Outdoor luxury ages fast offshore. Furniture, electronics, grills, fabrics, lighting, and decking all face salt and sun daily. Island vehicles look small compared with yachts, but carts, ATVs, tractors, and trucks still need fuel, batteries, parts, and repairs. Water systems fail quietly before they fail completely, which is why filters, pumps, tanks, and testing stay on the schedule. Environmental responsibility can affect beach use, lighting, construction, landscaping, and where guests are allowed to walk. Construction offshore multiplies cost. Materials, labor, equipment, waste, inspections, and weather delays all move across water first. Hurricane-rated glass, shutters, roofs, and doors may not look glamorous, but they protect the entire investment. Beach restoration can become recurring work, because sand moves, storms reshape shorelines, and perfect coastlines rarely stay perfect. One recent Bahamas-focused guide estimated yearly ongoing costs around $400,000 for a private island example. The most expensive nights may be the empty ones, when systems run only to protect the property from decline. A dock is both a welcome mat and a lifeline. If it fails, the island becomes harder to supply and evacuate. Even moorings need inspection. Underwater infrastructure carries boats, safety, access, and liability in a place where everything moves. Private island staff may need hospitality skills, boat handling, maintenance awareness, emergency training, and discretion at the same time. Owners may leave after a weekend, but the island stays alive through staff, systems, inspections, and quiet spending. Roofs, gutters, and drainage decide whether tropical rain becomes atmosphere or interior damage. Water management matters twice, collecting enough for use and moving excess away before it damages structures. Fire protection becomes more serious offshore, where municipal fire trucks cannot arrive in minutes. Communication systems support security, medical planning, weather alerts, guest coordination, maintenance, and the owner's business life. Private islands rely on local ecosystems: captains, contractors, caretakers, fuel suppliers, inspectors, cleaners, and marine specialists. Imported materials can mean shipping coordination, duties, paperwork, delays, storage, and higher replacement costs than mainland owners expect. Luxury finishes are fragile before they become beautiful. Salt, rain, delays, and handling can damage expensive materials before installation. When owners leave for months, the island still needs off-season protocols, inspections, storm readiness, and climate management. At night, every light on the island is a reminder. Paradise is powered, monitored, cooled, and protected privately. A private island may feel personal, but operating it can resemble running a boutique resort for a very small audience. Water sports add another layer: equipment, storage, safety checks, insurance, instruction, repairs, and liability around guests. Even toys are not free after purchase. Saltwater demands rinsing, servicing, storage, replacement, and supervision. Collectibles, wine, art, documents, and wardrobe pieces require climate control, security, and backup power in tropical conditions. In a remote coastal home, valuable interiors are not only decorated, they are protected, cataloged, insured, and sometimes moved. It is planning so thoroughly that the guest experience feels spontaneous. This is what owners are really buying: silence, distance, control, and the feeling that the world cannot reach them. The island feels untouchable only when every boat, dock, light, pump, and person performs exactly as expected. At the end of every perfect day, the island is reset by people the guests may barely notice. The purchase price gets attention, but the annual burn rate is what decides whether ownership remains pleasure or pressure. Every luxury image has a shadow image: the machine, the staff, the fuel, the repairs, and the waiting invoice. After storms pass, the island may look beautiful again only because someone paid to make it look untouched. Seen from above, the truth becomes clear. The island is not just land, it is an ecosystem of obligations. The magic of a private island is real. So is the infrastructure quietly creating that magic every hour. A private island buys distance from the world, but it also creates a world you must personally finance. What it really costs is more than money: logistics, vigilance, resilience, and the burden of keeping paradise alive.